I'm the deadliest brother you ever seen with a strap of belt in his hand. Raider Nation, welcome to the Unfiltered Truth. I am Indiana Jenkins, and this is the brother who gonna get his ass whipped by me. How y'all doing today?
Boy, you lost your damn mind. Boy, I slap you the damn baby powder over in the corner. Shit, you better know who you speaking to like that. Hey, Raider Nation, how you guys doing? Welcome to another great episode of Unfiltered Truth. Phil Jones, Phil Robinson. We're going to have a fun time tonight. Oh, man, let's get it kicking. So, the quarterback room, man.
The quarterback room, where all the excitement, where it all goes down, the driving force of every offense, the quarterbacks. We've talked a lot about the quarterbacks, so let's get into the quarterbacks. I want to start in a very...
What up, Danny? What up, Jim?
In a very unlikeliest of places. I want to start with the Peterman.
All right, so look, I know everybody's had their whole thoughts on Mr. Peterman. Everybody looked at him going back from what happened in Buffalo. It was just utter chaos, and I feel like he got thrown into the fire way too soon, shot his confidence. Gruden takes him in. He's been learning the system for really for what, a year and a half, going on 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole thing is this: knowing that you have a quarterback that is serviceable. I mean, he did a good job in preseason. Don't get me wrong. Knowing a quarterback like him, he can rebound. I mean, he's not going to be the best. He's not going to be an amazing quarterback that comes in and starts throwing like 5 touchdowns and throws for 300-400 yards and whatnot. He's a guy that, as long as, let's say, if you're down 2 quarterbacks and he had to come in and be that quarterback, he can still run the offense to where, hey, I need you to run the script. If he's just running the script the entire time, if he's running the script the entire time, he'll be fine. He listens to what is given, and it's a clear-cut direction.
Right, I am.
Fine. Damn. What's up, Kev? What's up, Andrew? I'm away from fire. I'm being loud.
Yeah, Buffalo did Peterman a huge disservice. They didn't give him anybody to throw to. His line was terrible, and all they had was the little itty-bitty bit of running game that they had, and a horrible offense to boot. The ownership was in flux. It was a bad situation for Peterman. And it translated to his play on the field. Now, like Phil said, to his point, is he going to come out here and be Aaron freaking Rodgers? No, he probably not. But in this offense, he can run this offense. More importantly, he can execute this offense, make the throws. His arm is very live. And usually when you see pick sixes, it's because a quarterback was throwing in a short area or into an area where he didn't know what the receiver was going to do. I mean, we watched, what was it? Matt Schaub do that for Houston.
Let's not speak of Matt Schaub right now.
He still got a job. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild. After all these years, he started in Atlanta, left Atlanta, went to Houston, and then came to us and got that quick contract, and then jetted, and then went back to Atlanta. Hey, that's a lot to think about. But no, just going and looking at that group of quarterbacks that we have right here. We have with Nathan Peterman, Marcus Mariota, and Derek Carr. What's the word I'm looking for? Like I said, you got a good serviceable backup with Nathan Peterman. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, hey, is he going to, and like I said, he's not going to come in, be the glorious starter. He's going to be that guy who's like, okay, he knows how to run this. He knows how to run scout team for me. He can handle this shit. That's all we need him to do. When we're in the film room and stuff that he sees that maybe Derek didn't see or maybe Mariota might not have saw, we're going to need that. We're going to need all hands on deck. And it does, like I said, it doesn't matter whether he's starting or not. We need to know that he can comprehend what's going on around him. And so far, from what John was saying about Nathan, it's pretty good. It's a little project with him, but it's pretty good. Let's go on and dive into this whole thing. We have Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota. I mean, you look at it, I mean, whether or not, I mean, yeah, we know that Derek's going to be the starter going in, but if it comes down to a point, you're going to understand that, hey, Mariota's going to come in if there is a struggle. Now, Phil, you made that face, Phil. What's that face?
Just what Andrew's talking about. I love Cap, but he was terrible his last year. Slap yourself. Jesus, man. Do you know what Cap was working with his last year? Jimmy Tom Sula.
Cap had
receivers.
Cap had Rod Streeter, bro.
Rod Streeter was their best wide receiver. Their best wide receiver.
Bro, I be telling people this shit. It should be funny.
No lot. Their line was terrible. It almost would have been better if you had put Cap on the field by himself. That's how bad the Niners were his last year.
I mean, Ricky, look, he wanted to see what Christian Hackenberg could do. Did he keep Hackenberg the whole time? No, he didn't. Yeah, Andrew, it was bad. Like, Andrew, you wouldn't survive behind that offensive line.
No.
Not even for about, what, 3 seconds? Yeah, his last year, he had 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Jim Tom Sula did not know what the hell he's doing. I don't know why they had made him the head coach. The defense was horrendous. The offense, the play calling, it was out of whack. They just had players all over the place that shouldn't have been playing there. But let's get back to on topic. Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota. We see that Mariota's come in, and you're looking at his contract, making about what, $7.5 million. He can make more than that.
Him and Cam Newton virtually have the same deal. For all intents and purposes, him and Cam Newton have the same deal.
And so, with that kind of contract that's laid out where it's like, hey, push comes to shove, if something were to happen, you would come in and be the starter. And you would be switched over and you make a little bit, you'll make that extra starter money. And I get where that's coming from right there. Now, the question is, and I'm gonna touch this. You guys know this shit. Will it happen? Will it come down to a point during this season that Mariota will come in and be the starter? Now, everybody's saying that we're seeing Derek Carr letting it rip to Nelson Aguilar, to Tyrell Williams, to Foster Moreau, Waller, Witten, to Alec Ingold. He's just ripping it to all his receivers out there. He's throwing some bombs. He's throwing them quick slants. He's throwing the bubble screens. He's making it look sexy out there. But the question is now,
if I see this man throw another 5-yard out, another one of these bubble screens, another one of these quick slants, and will pull every single one of my dreads out one by one. This dude is throwing 5-yard outs, slants, and swings against fucking air. Air. There's no rush. There's no defense.
See, that's what I want to get to. My whole thing is, you don't have a pass rush coming at you. I mean, shit. Yeah, you're gonna be hella accurate. You're gonna be on point. It's gonna look perfect. It's gonna look beautiful.
You throwing 5-yard outs. You are a professional quarterback. He's dinking and dunking in the off season, bro. It ain't even just all season. It's a 5-yard out, a 5-yard in, a quick slant. And I mean, you want to flex and look like you did something after you threw the easiest freaking pass in the world. I mean, we're talking literally passes that are one side of the field. He's supposed to have all the arm in the world. Why aren't we just seeing? I want to see a whole clip of nothing, just a straight 5 bombs in a row.
Nah, that's real. Now, another thing, I know everybody's like, we've seen Peterman and we've seen Carr out there. We haven't seen Mariota. Congratulations to Marcus Mariota. I don't know if I said it.
Yeah.
He's getting engaged.
I believe we said it, but yeah.
He's actually staying safe and
right,
not trying to go out there and, got COVID out there. That Rona ain't nothing to play with. And
one of them needs to be separate. If those are your 1 and 2s, they need to be separate for the reason that if one of them goes down, the other needs to be there to start the season.
So,
provided we have one.
So, Phil, I'm trying to see if I still have this, but.
And yes, we're looking at the game against New England just got a whole lot more difficult with an actual quarterback who's probably more than likely going to be lining up under center to run the offense. Now, we've talked about how New England was done, but with Cam Newton there, they just drafted 2 tight ends, and they have a first-round receiver in N'Keal Harry, and they still have Julian Edelman. And if he's going to be running around the middle of the field and getting open like he usually does, then Cam's his running ability mixed with the gun runs of James White and Sony Michel are going to make that offense go. And as long as that defense is still playing their way anywhere close to the level they played last season, New England's not going anywhere.
So I'm going to read this message out. This came out from the NFL Players Association. That's why them practicing out there, I think they have a big problem with it. To all players, please be advised that is our. You see, hold on, there we go. Be advised, medical opinion that in light of the increase in COVID-19 cases in certain states, that no players should be engaged in practicing together in private workouts. That key word right there, and what's going on in Vegas on that field, they're doing private workouts. The amount of cases that are going on in Nevada is staggering.
The mayor of Nevada literally said, the mayor of Las Vegas literally said that she was okay with turning her city into a gigantic bunch of test subjects. That is not inspiring confidence and being ready and taken every precaution for the games, for the city to be ready for games, for the city to be ready to have fans when you are literally rolling the dice on everybody's health just to see what happens. That is a recipe for disaster.
So that's my whole thing. If you have Dr. Thom Mayer coming out for the NFL Players Association telling them in certain states that no players should be engaged in practicing together in private workouts. And I'm just, And Jim, Phoenix is a hot mess. They had to shut it down. You know what? I'll pull up Nevada.
I had it a couple days ago, but I did. But yeah, the cases in Nevada are skyrocketing. Arizona is not the place you want to be. Texas is not much of the place you want to be either. And yes, Tehran, to your credit, I did forget about Mohamed Sanu, and that's probably because he didn't do shit with Tom Brady, and I very seriously doubt he's going to do anything with Cam Newton. No bars, no gyms. Coming from Jim, P19. No, the gyms have been a tough one for me. I went and got a 24-hour membership, then they shut it down, continued to take my money, and then went bankrupt. Ain't that about a bitch? Still haven't got my money back yet. But it's a real difficult balancing act. I mean, guys want to go to the park and get some work in. You're telling the NFLPA saying we don't want you working out due to COVID. But I mean, if you look at it, all of these players who are supposed to be sitting around on their asses, not working out, not doing anything, what type of league are we going to have? We're going to have the couch league, the national couch, bunch of fat ass. Everybody's got a gut. Nobody's been running. We need TV timeouts after every 2 plays because everybody on the field is dying and gasping for air.
And so they're Clark County. So let's see. Number confirmed cases were like 14,000. Amount of tests that were conducted was like 227,000, and then you can have 414 deaths. Look, I'm gonna be real here. I'm not trying. Look, I know some of you guys are like, oh God, you're gonna lecture us on COVID-19. I'm not. I'm just saying, if I'm the team, I would prefer that my players stop until further notice that we're all in the clear. I want everybody healthy. I want them ready to go. I want Derek Carr to be doing this when they're clear. I want these receivers to be doing this. Our secondary players to be doing this when they're officially cleared. I'm gonna tell you this. What's some of the one things I'm gonna be real? I'm gonna educate you guys with it because I constantly stay in contact with some of the doctors that are on the front line, and especially the nurses. And from what they always tell me, they said, you trying to work out with no shirt on and even out in the open, sweating, all that shit is just, it stays right there in that area.
Youngstown in the building.
Hey, what's up, Corey? How you doing, man?
So I'm gonna throw out a counter idea to that. And here's what I think is that if the NFLPA has such a huge problem with players going out and working on their own and being out in the public, they need to relax some restrictions. They need to allow players to go to the facilities where they can be indoors, where everything can be sanitized, where everything can be controlled, and that's where they need to be working out. Now, you run the risk of coaches being in there when they're not supposed to, but let's be real. If you want to fight COVID, if you want to have a season and you want to keep people from getting sick, you're going to have to try to do what the NBA is doing. And if you can't bubble them all in one place, then you need to bubble them all in their facilities. That is going to be ultimately the solution that is probably going to work the best.
So this was an update. This basically, the NFL Players Association today directed agents to provide their players with info from the CDC on COVID-19 risk factors and speak with them by mid-July, basically before training camp starts. Yeah, what a shades, Rob. I know.
Fresh out of work, brother. Give me a break. Man, it's tired.
So basically, they want they want them to know the importance of, consulting with their personal physician as they make decisions on playing this season. So I'll read this to you guys. Dear contract advisor, as we consider the possibility of beginning an NFL season in the midst of this COVID crisis, we want to ensure that your players, clients are provided with the most up-to-date information regarding COVID, including advice from the medical expert regarding some underlying medical conditions that may place certain individuals at increased risk, severe illness from COVID. Every player needs to be aware of their individual medical status as they approach a return to work. To that end, the NFL Players Association is directing you to provide each of your clients with the important risk factor information provided by the Center of Disease Control that appears, below. And by mid-July, you must engage each of your clients in a conversation about the vital importance of carefully reviewing this information with their personal physicians. They should ask their personal doctors and any and all questions that they have regarding these risk factors in the light of the personal medical history and their job as an NFL player. So, I mean, it's going to be a lot where basically this is, well, with your medical condition, are you sure you feel comfortable playing this year? And that's what's going to basically come up. Are you comfortable with going out there? Like, say if you're offensive lineman, let's use Gabe Jackson as an example. With your asthma, or do you feel comfortable going out there playing for the 2020 season, knowing that we have COVID-19 going around? And you're gonna come down to a point where, like, I feel fine. I can push forward and go through it. Or, he's gonna think about, like, hey, I'm not sure about this. Now, I'm not saying he said this. I'm just using this as an example. So I don't want nobody running back thinking they heard what they thought they heard and you didn't hear. So you got to understand, they are non-essential workers. And as I recall, over the weekend, Malcolm Jenkins spoke on that, and he said that, hey, we can sit this out. So I'm just saying, there are things that you need to start to realizing that the season could happen, the season might not happen, but back to what we were talking about with the quarterback room, having Marcus Mariota in there is a major plus. With him in one being a mobile quarterback, he can let it rip downfield. Him playing in multiple systems, going back to his time at University of Oregon. So when I say the season that Mariota was having, you have to understand, last year, man was getting beat up due to interior pass protection, and it was terrible. There were plenty of times I looked at his game film where he managed to get it. He had his moments, but there were plenty of times he threw it downfield, and Mariota set him up in scoring range, but it gets called back because multiple penalties have slowed that team down. That was one of the key things that was hurting him early on before he got benched for Tannehill.
And the line just started blocking better. Is a big, huge part of it too. They started blocking better for Derrick Henry, started blocking better for Tannehill, and lo and behold, something crazy happened when Tannehill threw the ball less. The wide receivers started catching more.
Wendy, you're right. The players are are all thinking about their families. No, that's real. That's real. And you got kids. You don't want to put them at risk. Absolutely. But now with Mariota, I'd literally say if he has to come in, say if Derek is hurt or say if Derek is not producing, I don't think he's going to have a problem.
If I may, the quarterback room that we're talking about, if you stop and you look at it, physical traits, size, speed, weight, they are all literally the same guy. They all have very similar skill sets, and their skill sets all cater to the offense that John Gruden runs. A West Coast offense with vertical shots in it, bootleg offense, naked bootlegs, get your quarterback on rollouts, all kinds of things to timing, misdirection. They all excel at it. I mean, Mariota won the Heisman with Chip Kelly in that gimmick offense of faking handoffs and RPOs. That's one thing that you started to see Carr doing at the end of last year was the RPOs and running with the football. Mariota is 10 times better at that than Carr is. So when you look at this quarterback room and you question, and a lot of people have been skeptical about Mariota, and rightfully so, because of what happened, how he got bounced out in Tennessee. Mariota is a good quarterback. Mariota is a lot better than everybody's giving him credit for. It didn't work out. It didn't work out in Tennessee with a new head coach, with a new head coordinator, offensive coordinator once again. And and it was just time, much like we've said about Derek Carr. So when you hold their careers up to next to each other, they literally broke their legs on the same freaking day.
Hey, I forgot about that one. Ha! Ain't that some damn luck?
Same guy from quarterback 1 to quarterback 3. Soft-spoken, big, rocket arms, speed, can run, smart, not very vocal.
That's wild, man. I literally forgot about that one.
I'm just saying. It's funny because it's funny because when you literally put it together, Mariota and Carr were both having strong years up until Christmas Eve, and then both of their teams fell off. Titans didn't even make it. Raiders didn't make it out of the first week of the playoffs. Lost to Houston after they beat Houston in Mexico City.
Yeah, that's true.
Mariota has won in Kansas City, won a playoff game in Kansas City. Hell, he threw a touchdown pass to himself. So we can let our personal biases about what Mariota's done cloud our judgments into thinking that it's not going to work. He's terrible, but I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Once he gets a grasp of this offense, if Carr is not delivering, he's going to get the hook. And our favorite blogger Mo will say, no, he's not. I'll argue with him to the death. So Mariota will play this year. He will start a game this year. It's just a question of when.
He said he will argue with him. That's funny. Y'all know, you and Mo be going back and forth with that shit. Y'all be like, nah, Mo, no. You like, nah, Mo. I'm telling you. What did I tell you, Mo?
How often?
And it happens all the time. Y'all
how often am I wrong?
I usually go, what, 50-50?
No, it's more of 70-30. Remember the Andrew Luck discussion?
Why you gotta do him dirty like that?
I just need y'all to know this. I'm for real. I do this for real. No jokes.
Why you gotta do him dirty like that, bro?
Bro, it is what it is. It's the unfiltered truth. You can see it over my left shoulder.
I know, but still, why you gotta do him dirty like that?
Hey, it is what it is, bro. We don't pull no punches around here for nobody.
Nah, that's real. Nah, I'm just going back through some. I'm actually going back and looking at a few things, but Derek Carr, like we said, this is make it or break it with this season. He can't go and just be like, oh, gosh darn it, I want to just win. I just going
not gonna fly.
Just we can't be having that wild
want to hear it.
wishy-washy.
Like if
we can't have it this year.
If he does not win, he's getting benched. Period. End of discussion.
Phil, this year, Derek Carr has to come out. He can be accurate all he wants, but you got to be accurate. You got to be accurate in that red zone. You have to be accurate in that red zone. And that's where he hasn't been. He has not been that accurate in that red zone.
Your all-pro tight end needs to see more than 6 targets inside the red zone. Your all-pro tight end, 6'6", 260 of needs to get more than 3 passes thrown his way from inside the 10. I don't know what coach in the world is calling plays, but when you got a 6'6" tight end, why the hell are we not throwing jump balls to this guy in the end zone?
That's true. That's true.
You are 24th in the league in scoring, and you got a big, tall, jolly green giant over there that you just refuse to throw the ball to.
Now you got Jason Witten to help you out with that too.
Don't matter if you're not going to throw him the ball.
Right? To be honest, it's funny how, and this has really been annoying the living hell out of me, but you know how you've been having everybody say that, oh, with the West Coast offense is only designed to be throwing majority slants. Well, that's funny because oh man, I'm glad I kept this gym. I'm so glad I kept this gym with me. So I've been having folks tell me that John Gruden offense is only quick slants, screens, and crossing routes that are only designed for the receiver to get yards after catch. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have John Gruden's 98 playbook. I have John Gruden's other playbooks as well.
That's right.
Ones.
Gannon didn't only throw short passes. He threw deep passes, and he couldn't throw the ball past 35 yards. But he still did it.
Right.
And hit big with some 40-year-old wide receivers.
So I'm looking at this, Phil, and I don't believe my eyes. 12 yards. 12 yards or more. We're looking for. He's looking for about what? A double comeback. Damn, he wants him going about 12 or pulling 20, getting up to 20 yards. On the average, he wants these pass plays to be going up about 20 yards or more.
I can tell you what I saw from training camp. Every pass play has a flag or a post or a go. Every single pass play has at least one of those. Now, a lot of it is used to create space in the defense and to vacate an area so that the guy coming who's running those slants and those crosses and those 5 to 10 yard ends has an area of the field that's been vacated by a defender who was taken away with the deep pass. With speed on the field, that's going to open that up a whole hell of a lot more than it has been. But this notion that all it is in the West Coast offense is three-step drops and ball coming out, that works sometimes. But when your receivers can't get off a press, you're screwed. Or better yet, when they show press and then back off into a soft zone and confuse the hell out of your quarterback, what does he do? He does what Rich says, which is throw the ball to the other team.
Doug, Gruden design, I'm going back and looking at these plays, and I'm going to be real with you. Those are some of the plays we saw last season. It's designed there. You got the flanker right there. Okay, he's going to be right there coming across. But you see multiple guys downfield going about 10, 15 yards downfield or more, and they're getting it. I mean, it's there. And that play design is set up. So we see him talking about he's going to be throwing more deep. You know, they show video of this, but I need to see this translate onto the field against an opponent, not doing practice, not just doing training camp. I need to see him throwing downfield more in the regular season. That's all we're asking, and that's how everybody else has been asking. You have Ruggs, you got Williams, you got Renfro, you got Zay Jones, you got Nelson Aguilar, you got Brian Edwards, you even got Darren Waller that can get the job done. And shit, let me not forget about the X Factor that I'm going to tell you. Yes, he is the X Factor, Lynn Bowden Jr. So you have weapons that can go upfield. You have weapons that can hit across the field more than 5 yards. And that's what we're going to need to see out of this offense. I'm going to tell you this. That's going to be that's how this offense is going to succeed. Now, with John Gruden coming into year 3 with this team, he has to win. He has to make sure nothing is being shown conservatively going through an entire game. Basically, the Raiders cannot let off the gas pedal on all 4 quarters. If you're jumping up in the lead first quarter and second quarter, shit, you need to keep going. Yeah. Third quarter, fuck all that. Well, you know, we're going to take the air out of the foot. Right. No. Fuck all that shit. Keep running up that damn score. Damn right. Al Davis would say, just win, baby. Let's beat that ass. What killed us this year, third quarter and fourth quarter, the second half looking horrendous. Horrendous. And we cannot go forward into the 2020 season doing what you did in 2019, shit, even 2018. I think the second half of the season, we scored what? Once in the fourth quarter?
9 points during a 6-game stretch.
Yeah, 9 points.
During a 6-game stretch. That's 3 football games where 9 points.
That's a problem. John Gruden, he knows this is a problem. He knows Mark Davis right now is not happy because he knows Mark Davis is like, dude, you're my boy. But the fact of the matter is we're here in Vegas now, and we cannot be doing the same shit that was going on in Oakland. You have all the pieces around you for the offense. You actually spent more pieces on defense than offense this free agency. You added key pieces in the draft. That was one thing. The one thing that we have noticed with the Raiders, they always spend more towards the offense. But in the past couple of years, we've never seen them really spend more towards the defense. And this was the first season we saw them spend more towards the defense through free agency. So when you're seeing that, that's telling you right there that's telling you, okay, the tide is starting to change. And yes, Amari, it needs to translate into wins. We can't settle on a 7-9 season, an 8-8 season, not even a 9-7 season. You should be having a double-digit win column for this season. I know there's critics out there that's saying that the Raiders only get 8-8 this year, or at best 9-7. But I know, and I catch players that do catch this show. Some of the family members even catch this show, and I'm gonna be real and be blunt. Let it be known to your other teammates, like, hey, this is one team, one goal. When one fall, we all fall. We need to get this shit together right now, and we need to execute. Now, yes, you guys are going out there doing your private workouts, but you need to be careful doing that shit right now, because it doesn't seem like the NFL Players Association wants you to do that. When you come back to the facility, when they give you the okay, get right back into that rhythm. Get things going. Get things started. Because everybody in the league says, y'all can't beat the Chiefs. Everybody in the league saying that the Chargers are going to be better than y'all, and they can't even fill up a damn stadium. Everybody in the league saying that Drew Lock is going to be the better quarterback than what we have. Now, tell me, you think John Gruden's going to let this shit happen? Or is he going to get better fucking execution out of his players this year?
He's definitely going to get it out of his quarterback, or his quarterback is going to get replaced. And, I mean, it just comes back full circle to what we've been talking about in the quarterback room and what Kev said about we go as the QB goes. If the QB ain't going, if he's not going on the field, he's going off of it, and there will be a backup, a capable backup, who will come in with the best offense he's ever had a chance to work with and give it his best shot so that he can prove that it wasn't him in Tennessee, it was the pieces that were around him, which sounds awfully familiar, like quite an excuse that I've heard for the last 3 years. Because Mariota can beat the Chiefs, has done it twice.
Yeah.
I need to. I believe in the powers of the bench. If you ain't acting right, I got a spot for you right over here on the bench. You'll get right or you'll get gone.
That's real. Because, like, my whole thing right here is this. John Gruden said, you think? Yeah, Drew Lock, yeah. I'm like,
Drew Lock is going to be all right. He's not a bum. He's better than I thought he was. I thought he was going to be a bum. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought he was going to be a bum too. But he's better than I thought he was, and they're putting a nice little set of weapons around him to get going. They still got to finish building that line, but Drew Lock is mobile. And so he'll move around, and he'll make it hard for defenders to take advantage of that bad offensive line. But they got talent.
But hold on. What was the Chargers' problem last year? Your quarterback wasn't able to move around.
Yes. The statue.
You look at the Chiefs. The quarterback was able to move around. You look at us, our quarterback moved around 50% of the time, and this is what you got. So we need that to go up from 50% to 100%.
I don't understand for the life of me how a guy who swears up and down that he can beat he beat the 2016 Defensive Player of the Year in a foot race don't ever run. I don't understand how a guy who had 4.69 speed can't beat a safety to a pylon. I don't understand how he can't run 5 yards of wide open field right in front of him to get 3 to score a touchdown. I don't understand. I don't understand these things, and I hear all the excuses, and I see all this talk about mobile quarterback. But when we drafted Carr, that was supposed to be what we got.
Oh man, oh, if I do this shit, Lord.
I hope Max and Pharrell eat all season long, not just against Denver. And Amari, to your point, they ain't had a wide receiver group like this since they won the Super Bowl with John Elway.
This man 40 time was a 4.53.
Who's?
Jeff Heath. That stopped him.
Nah.
But still.
But Carr still had an inch and
yeah, he had about
15 pounds on him.
He had a good yard. He had a good yard on him too.
Yeah, inch and 15 pounds. Cut that fit. Take a jab step. Drop that shoulder and man up, son.
He need bigger hands.
Man up, son.
Oh man,
Smith in his life is what he needs.
Boy, need to do some hand workouts. But Phil, I mean, if John Gruden has another struggling season,
then we need to start asking some very difficult questions about John Gruden. If John Gruden, now, granted, we have seen progress in each of the 2 years, and I wrote an article a couple weeks ago about how the third season is usually the season that he breaks out. His teams win 10-plus games, they win the division, and they go to the playoffs. But if in this year 3, with all of the restocking of the cupboards, all of the talent that's been added, you've idiot-proof the team. The depth on this football team is the best we've seen in years, decades even. If after this season he still can't get over 8-8, he still can't win 9 games, he still can't win 10 games, and we need to start looking at the coach and see what exactly is the problem. You can't get the talent to run the system. Perhaps instead of running the system, you need to start tailoring to what the players do best. And that's always been one of my chief issues with the Raiders, is that they get guys in that are great players and then ask them to do something other than what made them great.
Yeah. So let's see. What's your prediction with John Gruden this year, man?
My prediction is the same. Is going to be the same that I've said thus far. Carr is on a short leash. Carr's leash is as long as it takes Mariota to get up to speed. We can argue about it. We can agree about it. Once Mariota is ready to go, if Carr is not out there lighting the world on fire, if he's out there dinking and dunking and they're losing football games, I saw somebody say 1-4 or 2-2, 2-2 might be all right. But if you're going into the bye with a losing record and it looks like more of the same thing that we've seen for the last 3 years, I do not expect him to stay complacent with that. They brought Mariota over here for a reason, and they put all those incentives in his contract for a reason. If Carr's already got his money, so he's good. If Mariota wants to get paid, he's going to have to play. And if Carr isn't playing, then Mariota is going to be chomping at the bit to go in there and get his fucking money.
No, that's real. I got John pulled on for 10-6 season.
I got it. I've said 11-5.
11-5.
I'd say 11-5. Now everybody will say, "Oh, the two more wins." No, they should have won 10 games last season. I said it at the beginning of the year, until they started having those offensive woes down the stretch, I was looking solid. And then that 6-game stretch happened, and it was like, oh, what is y'all doing? And it just fell apart. But this team,
the thing about it, the year that we went 4-12.
Mm-hmm.
I had us going 7-9. Mm-hmm. 7-9 or 9-7.
Mm-hmm.
And then the year 2 we go 7-9. So is my prediction right? Will we go 10-6?
Maybe a year off, but hey.
I don't know. We're in a situation where players are back, they're healthy. it's just really no excuse. There's nothing that you can really say that you can say that, oh, this is not working out for us this year. We're gonna come back harder, better. And I'm gonna tell you guys this. If he starts that BS, I have a whole montage video of heard it all before. Yeah.
And real quick, just to touch on something, John Gruden has been given everything. $100 million contract, brand new stadium, state-of-the-art facilities, five number one draft picks in the last 2 years, complete offensive autonomy, and an overhaul with a rebuild that was all his own doing, with the best scout that the NFL has had in years working at his side. If he cannot make this work, it is time to start looking for a different coach. He will get rid of Carr, and it will be Carr who falls first, because he's going to swear up and down that's not his guy. But
I have a coach. I got a coach that we could look at if that ever came down to it.
It would be time to steal Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City.
Son of a bitch. You got to steal my shit all the time. You always got to steal my shit.
I didn't even know that. But if you want to talk about a guy who's ready to go, who's been sitting on the back burner, who's been interviewed but disrespected and left alone, if you
offered only a college job where he could have had the job in Carolina.
Mm-hmm. With a guy who just won the Super Bowl.
Mayock stays.
Mayock will. Neither one of them are going anywhere at the end of this season. Neither one of them are going anywhere at the end of this season. Carr will be the first one to go, guaranteed.
Oh man! So we pretty much covered on that quarterback room. That's why I said this. When you talk about Peterman, you talk about Mariota, and you talk about Carr, there's really no excuse in that room for those guys not to be just bettering themselves in there. There's no excuse. You got the strengths, you have the knowledge, you need to use it. And if you don't use it, it's your fault. It's not your receiver's fault.
Nope.
It's your fault.
Not your line's fault. Your line was number 2 in pass protection efficiency last season. Or they for a while they were number 2 in what they finished in the top 5, top 10?
Yeah, top 10.
Top 10?
It's just like
running back was an offensive rookie of the year candidate till he got hurt because he was carrying your ass all season long.
And running motherfuckers over and over and over and over
again. Your wide receiver, the guy who was catching a touchdown every game he played in, his feet are good to go. Didn't burn him up in a cryotherapy chamber in France. Your tight end is calling out saying you should be a top 5 offense. If you come out stinking up the joint, bro, everybody's going to be looking at you.
One thing I caught on Incognito going back to last year, he said it's complimentary football.
It always is. 3 phases.
So there's that.
You can't leave a young defense out there on the field because you're going 3 and outs for 30 minutes a game.
So I know you all been waiting. I know you guys are like, Phil, can you hurry up? Can you hurry up? I want my damn cup. I want my freaking cup, man. You want the cup? You gonna get this cup right here. Well, reason why Gruden brought in Glennon, it was the options at the time.
I would have taken Kaepernick over Glennon.
Oh, dude, definitely.
I mean, if we want to get serious about it, especially if he had Mark Davis's busing, that I think that might have been more of a statement for the cameras than a reality. Because I would have rather had Kaepernick than probably Peterman or Glennon, to be real. Keep it all the way 100.
That's real. All right. So it's time for our trivia. So if we're coming into July, this is an Al Davis trivia question. I want you guys to make sure that you're paying attention, listen very clear, and whoever puts it in, types it in the comments section first.
And I'm watching.
Cause I can see it right here for both Periscope and YouTube. So whoever's typing this in first, you are the winner.
I can be bribed.
Shut up. All right, here is the question. What was Al Davis's? What was the first team Al Davis worked for in the NFL?
Well, it looks like I'm keeping the mug. Raiders, dog!
Hold up!
Congratulations, you are our winner!
We got it. Danny boy got it.
More Colts as a scout. Raiders,
player personnel. So here's the trick with this one. Everybody always look at Al working with the Chargers a little bit, but literally, ladies and gentlemen,
1954.
Yep. He was a player personnel assistant.
So, Raiders dog, hang on for a little bit after the show. Phil will get your information, and you will be the winner of a brand new Raiders mug. Not this one, but the shiny one.
You know, it's got like that cool black on it with the emblem on it. Not like that mug.
No.
But yeah, it was a fun fact. You know, everybody always thought like,
I need the battle pass, but
so 6 years later, he went to the chart. Yeah, it was 6 years later he went to the Chargers.
After working out at the university. Yeah. Yep, that's right, Wendy.
He worked at.
You beat me to it.
Yeah. Well, I was saying like we're like in the league, not like college. That's why I went on and like, let me be more specific. And I was like, he was working at USC as the O-line coach, and I know he was working at Citadel and
Adelphia.
Adelphi, yeah. Yeah, he was also working there as well. But really, like when it came down to the league, it was the Baltimore Colts. He was working for the Los Angeles Chargers, and then he took control of the Raiders. He was the general manager and the head coach. He went 9-33 before doing the merger with the AFL, and then he went 10-4 and ended up winning. And then so on and so forth, went on, took over, and ruled with the iron fist, and then started pimp slapping everybody with the Super Bowl rings.
Your team.
Did he work at the Army?
That was Parcells.
No, you know what?
I didn't see any mention of that.
Yeah, he did. He did.
When?
He was right down the street from where I used to work at Fort Belvoir. Back in 1952. to 1953.
Ah.
Man, it's wild. It's wild, man. You know, the more you learn in history, man. Oh, man, it's fun to learn that stuff. You know what? This is not going to be our first. This is not the only giveaway we're going to do. We're going to do another one coming up, so don't worry about it. But
Teron, you was late, bro. Stop it. You didn't even weigh in over here trying to story first.
Hey, look, we're gonna convert him to a Raiders fan, man. Hey, but other than that, hey, Danny, go and hit me in the DM. Go and give me your information so I can go on and get this stuff squared away and sent to you right away. Other than that, we're gonna get to wrap up the Unfiltered Truth for the night. 4th of July weekend's coming up. You guys need to be safe. Stay at home and drink. Go on and barbecue, grill. Get the dogs, get the ribs. Throw some tri-tip out there. Throw some somebody throw some damn carne asada fries out there, man. Do it yourself, man. Go and throw it out there. Make it big. Live it live. Get the damn fireworks out and don't let 12 know about it. So, hey, let's have fun. Let's be safe this week. If you got to go out, wear a damn mask. America! Wear a damn mask. It's going to be, yep, you heard it. Yeah, it's going to be Mr. Larry Al Davis's birthday. All right? So let's live it live, Raider Nation. Let's live it live. Let's go in for the bang. All right? And remember, if you missed the show tonight, catch it on Spotify. You can go and recap it on Periscope, YouTube on our page, Unfiltered Truth. Go on and give that subscribe. You know, we're trying to get up to a little bit more than what we had. I think we're at what, 54 members right now. So let's get this up to 100. Let people know if you want to subscribe to the Unfiltered Truth on the YouTube page. Subscribe to it and subscribe to the IE Sports radio page. If you're into any other sports, we have it.
Teron is a volleyball guy. We've got NASCAR. We've got baseball, hockey. Some for everything at IE Sports Radio. It's not
we
just
got UFC. You know, hey, look, we got a show where we're talking about sports and drinking wine at the same time. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Shit. Get a little turned up. I'm gonna have to join my boy Mike. I'm gonna have to show him my wine collection and talk some sports with him. So I'm gonna have to jump up on that bad boy.
Yep.
But hey, y'all be safe out there. I love you guys. You guys are the best. You guys give me and Robinson here the energy we need to deliver for you guys, and we appreciate you guys. So other than that, y'all take care. God bless. We out.